perfect question for me. Sitting on the Coastal Commission is my position is appointed by the governor, and it is, requires that it be an elected official. It has become a way too powerful organization, and it needs to be brought in. In fact, I was talking with someone earlier that local coastal plans need to be a partnership, not a way to try to manipulate a project. And that process, I need 6, and I'm at 5. Because I believe that we've got that kind of movement on the Coastal Commission. The new appointments are moving to the center. And the discussion, I mean, they're talking right now that they would like to put into a rule that if you do a 50% improvement on the interior of your home would then be required to meet the setbacks of current day, which would actually, in some cases, require you to move your home. Not okay. And I can tell you that I'm fighting hard for that kind of stuff, because that's how we're going to bring it back. I mean, I know that there are people that would like to sign petitions to get rid of it, but you know, you're going to need 700,000 signatures, and that's not going to, I don't know if you're going to make that. But the other part that the Coastal Commission has done for us is it has protected our access. It has ensured that we can get to the beach and see the beach. If you lived in Florida or South Carolina, you don't even know there is a beach. You know, all of California would look like Malibu had we not had the Coastal Commission, where you can't get to the beach, where people have guards that don't let you on the beach. That's not what we want. But yes, it has gotten way too onerous. It needs to be brought back to what it was meant to do, which is to make sure it protects our access and the land. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Bill, does the Coastal Commission have too much authority or not enough? And what would you do to make changes?
That's an interesting question. Coastal Commission is another layer of government, as far as I'm concerned. Before we ever had a Coastal Commission, I had no problem getting access to the beach or the national parks. Does it serve a purpose? Perhaps. But we need government to get out of the way. And we have a project right here known as the Del Norte Airport. And the person seated to my left is on the Coastal Commission. And she's talking about trying to partner with entities to get projects to move forward. That's not happening. She sits on one side of the table and says, hey, I'm a county board of supervisor here. We don't have any more land to give away. Then she moves to the other side of the table and said, I'm on the Coastal Commission here. I want a 4-to-1 land swap. Now, regardless of how you interpret that, either good or bad, it's another layer of government that is standing in the way of progress in Del Norte County. You could say, if you were talking about Martha alone, where is her loyalty? Is her loyalty to the Coastal Commission, or is her loyalty to the county? You'd have to ask her that, or you be the judge. As far as I'm concerned, with the Coastal Commission, they have too many rules and too many regulations and too many people enforcing them. They need to get out of the way and let Del Norte County get back on its feet, because although we haven't spent as much time talking about the airport tonight, it is an integral part of what we need to do here as a county. We need to get the airport done now, and we don't need to fool around another 4 or 5 years of litigation with the Coastal Commission to get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. This will be your question, the first. In light of the Occupy Wall Street and the growing movement, would you support Occupy Crescent City?
No.
Wish to elaborate on that?
That's my answer.
Martha, in light of the Occupy Wall Street and the growing movement, would you support Occupy Christmas City?
Absolutely. And the reason I would support it is because that's our First Amendment right, is that we have free speech. And if anybody wants to organize and stand and work together on what they believe in, then that belief system needs to be honored. And it's that First Amendment right that so many times that people will attempt to say, you know what, I don't agree with you, therefore you don't talk. Therefore you don't count. Wrong answer. Just because you disagree doesn't mean you ever get to take anybody else's right away on any of those rights that are protected in the Constitution of the United States of America.
Thank you, Martha. There was another question here which is redundant, more or less asking about how to return control of our resources to private industry. I'll go to our last one, and then we'll have the candidates ask a question of each other, and we'll give them their closing statements, and we'll finish up here. When we do finish up here, if you remember that teapot, if you'll also realize and take advantage of the fact that the candidates will stick around for a while to answer your questions. This question goes to Martha first. How important is local experience in paying your local dues and serving effectively as a Del Norte County Supervisor?
I think that local experience is extremely important because I think that many times, and we've seen it in the past, where we've had people move here, think they're going to run the county or the city, and then end up not understanding how we actually work. We have a deep culture in our community and deep roots, and we've gone through a lot together. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought that everybody had the lights turned off for a couple of weeks every month during the winter when logging season wasn't happening because the money didn't quite make it all the way. I thought that's what happened. I thought that when I was a kid that most people, lived, and they did, and we lived with our moms and our dads, and sometimes there wasn't any heat. And we did that, and we knew that. And we've gone a long way, and we're not a county that needs to be turned upside down. We're a county that has grown up together. We're a county that in '64 took such a hard hit that we had to circle our arms around each other and regroup. And that kind of history is absolutely important. I sit on the Historical Society board partially because I learned from the elders that have been there in the past, but partially because I can continue to help tell our story. Because our story is unique, and we live in one of the most beautiful communities in the nation. And part of it is not just the beauty of where we live, but it's of the families that have settled here and that are on their third, fourth, fifth, sixth generations. And we have come together as a community, and we need to understand that with one another. So I think that residency, where you want to be a leader, is absolutely inherent in any leadership position, because it's not that I want to tell you what I think should be done. It's what I have heard from my community on what we need to work for.